Fox News has obtained documents from the Democratic Socialists of America revealing the group's updated platform, which is even more radical than before. Now, they plan to release this next week. Listen to this. The United States Senate eliminated, gone. The president and the Supreme Court replaced. The Department of War defunded. All immigrants given amnesty. That is the plan. Now, who is driving this machine? Well, they say it's the people. But a new survey shows those people overwhelmingly identify as anarchists and Marxists. Yet the media is running cover for the group. The Washington Post is claiming Republicans are falsely labeling them as communist. And other members in the media are mocking the idea of the Red Scare.
One of the things I found very interesting is this pivot the president has made to communism, coming after the commies.
This is not gulag socialism. This is not the Soviet Union socialism.
Socialism, much less democratic socialism, is not communism.
But if those journalists, so-called, spent the same amount of time covering the DSA as they did a pool that nobody swims in, they would find a web of caucuses within the group that explicitly push communism. Now, the Marxist Unity Group, for example, says they are rallying thousands of Marxists in the DSA around a shared vision of the future. And they plan to achieve that future by adopting what they call a minimum-maximum program. Quote, the minimum program refers to the party's comprehensive platform, the policies that it will immediately implement upon taking power, and the maximum program refers to the results of this process, a world free of the market, borders, classes, and all other oppressive structures that exist under capitalism. In a word, communism. They also proudly put on their website that they want to overthrow our Constitution. Another faction is a revolutionary Marxist caucus called Reform and Revolution. They draw influence from communist leaders like Karl Marx, Vladimir Lenin, and Leon Trotsky. And on their website, they promise the Communist Manifesto, which they promote. There also is the Liberation Caucus. They push Maoism, saying this: Comrade Mao's call to combat liberalism must be heeded and taken seriously. Otherwise, opportunist and revisionist trends will arise and rot the soul of the organization. And they go on to say we are unequivocally anti-imperialist. Communists in the imperial core have as our main duty the destruction of the imperialist system. And finally, there's also the Red Star Caucus, which describes itself as the Marxist-Leninist faction of the Democratic Socialists of America. Their stated goal to abolish capitalism and ultimately to achieve communism. They go on to say they are striving to weaken and ultimately dismantle the U.S. empire. Red Star also notes that nearly half of the DSA's National Political Committee identifies as communist. That's what's hiding inside the belly of the beast. In their own words, we just showed you communism. Now listen to how some of their members speak about America.
U.S. imperialism is not a thing that can be reformed away. It has to be overthrown through revolutionary struggle.
To build a mass movement that can use the leverage of workers to hit the kill switch on American imperialism here.
So when do Democrats and members of the media start calling them out for this rhetoric? After the DSA takes their voters and builds their own rival party?